Hello and welcome to what is an emergency podcast. I think it's safe to say, Scotty boy, Rangers have not only been put out of Europe but well and truly cemented their place in the second tier of European football. 6-0 away from home, man sent off after 9 minutes. Scotty boy, the red carpet is out, walk down.
Is there a flight of stairs I can jump down? I mean, what do you want me to say here? This is...
Well, first of all, Scotty, it's going to be the question we ask, where does Martin go from here?
I'm trying really hard not to swear. Out the plane door, preferably, with a parachute on so you can land back in Southampton. That would be fantastic. Anywhere but Glasgow, anywhere but Rangers, that would be my ideal preference. He has to go. You can't. That's not tenable. You can't turn up in a must-win or a competitive game where you're still in the fight. Okay, it looks like the odds are not going to be there, but you're still in the fight. You're only 2 goals behind. We've seen Rangers come back from results like that in Europe before. And again, I missed the very start of that game because I was just getting in from work. 5 minutes in the door. I know you didn't, right?
No, you didn't.
No, but I missed it. I missed the 5 minutes start, right? And I was like rushing home to get in because I thought, right, tonight might be the night. Tonight might be the night that he surprises us all, right?
That's the hope that kills you, innit?
Yeah, and he was given the speech before about, it's an attacking lineup. It's we're going for real energy. What energy? I've seen McGran move faster than that. And you mean where's the energy? And I just thought, and then I saw it come up on my phone, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. And then I just literally got through the door, turned the TV on, and it was like getting ready to switch on the stream and red card, and I thought, no, this is a joke. And then there it is, staring me in this face, and it was the worst thing I've ever watched in my life.
Apart from last night.
No, I mean, even so, Pat, you weren't as open as we were. I mean, you were terrible last night, and you should have beat that team, right? And they were terrible as well, right? And it's a terrible result for Celtic, terrible result for Scottish football. But that tonight, where do you go?
It felt very Celtic in Europe, like when we would go and try and play the way we played domestically against teams, and it took Rodgers 2 years to learn not to do that over 2 managerial spells. It felt like the Dortmund 7-1 game where you're just watching the same thing happen again and again, and you're like, why is no one doing anything about this? Like the management and the players, like the Bruges boy was just big switch, drive to the byline, goal. What was it, 4 goals in 5 minutes in the first half?
See the only difference, Pat, with the Celtic one, because I was sitting thinking about this because I thought you might bring it up, is I think with the Dortmund game, Celtic did look dangerous. There was moments where you thought, if Celtic had just scored there, would have been.
We scored.
And same with the when it was a Man City as well, and I know there was a PSG one in there, not to bring them all up, but I do.
I know Man City didn't beat us.
Was it PSG?
PSG and Barca. Yeah.
Is you did have moments in those games, Scotty.
There's nothing.
I think it's safe to say. I mean, I gave credit to Rangers for getting through the last 2 ties, but there was a hell of a lot of luck in that, and it just seems like luck's ran out because you faced a better opponent. Now I don't want to be jumping on the bandwagons and say managers should get sacked. I still think it's such early doors, and there's clearly a culture problem at Rangers, and all you need to do is look around clubs in the UK, one who's currently on a penalty shootout with Grimsby as we're recording this, to see that the issues can't just be one man all the time.
But no. Steve, remember we made this sort of Scott, I'll come back to you because this is your reaction episode, mate. I had my turn yesterday, but we made the point yesterday about Andrew's first 4 months at Celtic, right? The results were not good, but we could see what he was trying to do. I'm further away now from knowing what Russell Martin's trying to do.
Yeah,
after a European game. Sorry, Scott, over to you.
I totally agree with you. Okay, Postecoglou came in and, like you said, had a bit of a kind of wobbly start. Wasn't great, but you still battered a couple of teams. You still scored goals. We've not scored a single goal from open play this entire 8 weeks that he's been in the job. It's all been from set pieces. We've conceded the most set pieces we've ever had. I mean, I'm just lost for words. I'm at the point where I don't know. I don't know where to go because I'm so lost. Like, it's generally so frustrating because I'm like, I'm usually got loads to say. I've usually got lots to say, but right now I've got nothing. It can't continue, and I know what you're saying, Steve. I 100% agree that you cannot go around sacking managers. But when does it become the right thing to do? You're basically telling me that this can go on for an entire season. If he was in the door for the whole year, the new owners would have nobody in the stands. There wouldn't be a single person in Ibrox in match days, right? So that eats into all their revenues.
There wasn't at the start of last season.
No, yeah, well, that's because we weren't home last season. But hey,
Oh, when they won the league.
yeah, but I don't know. I just think like, if this continues, I see nothing. And I've been trying my hardest to give it time, give it hope, to see even a morsel of something, of some sort of improvement. But there's nothing. We've actually regressed. And what makes it worse for me, and I think this is just the nail in the coffin, you have a Belgian, and I said this last episode, I've said it the episode before, you have a Belgian international in your ranks, and you're dropping him for your pal.
Could you see him, Raskin, like smiling and laughing with the Bruges players at the end of that game? By the way,
Yeah,
I could not
No,
believe that.
Again, that tells me everything you need to know. Everything you need to know, right? Because sorry, Scotty, right? But I might be right in saying I think this isn't the first time that Nico Raskin's been left at a Rangers team and people have been scratching their head going, why is he not on the team? There was periods at the start of last season, was there not, when he wasn't playing, and this isn't the first time it's happened to him, and you have to, regardless of what you think of Russell Martin, I don't think he's stupid. I think that's the one thing. He always comes across well to the media. Listen, his tactics might not be working out, right? But surely you can trust someone enough to go, he's obviously seen him day in, day out, and he's seen something he doesn't like. Yes, he's a Belgian international. Yes, he's a fantastic footballer. Yes, he's been brilliant in the games I've seen him when Rangers have won. But what's he doing wrong then to not get in the team? Because it's something with his performances, and it's something more damning than that. And I feel like I've spent the last 2 nights of my life watching football where I'm going, I'm going to have to come on a podcast and try and start defending indefensible. So I've been trying my hardest to scratch my head and to see what come up with. But like,
a valiant effort, but
we can't keep just saying it's the board, or it's the manager at Rangers, or it's this or it's that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've had some really good managers.
No, I know, and I understand wholeheartedly what you're saying. And
bring back
to a degree, I completely agree. Players need to take a long, hard look at themselves, take a lot of responsibility, because that is also on them, right? To play that open, to have a professional, like you've played, we've got internationals all over the park, you know, and they look like they've never played football at any sort of level before.
It's also up to the manager to influence the culture, though.
Yeah.
Like I think with a manager that everyone respected and looked up to, you're not going to have the Igamam incident. You're not going to have players laughing about and joking. It's a cultural thing, and I see what you're saying, Steve. Like I'm fully on board with you need to give people time, but I think you give people time if there's redeeming qualities there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Go back to it again.
You're saying that, Pat. You're saying that, right? And I totally agree with that. But you're not just going to, I don't care who you are, like you could be Sir Alex Ferguson, you're not going to change the attitudes of Igamans and Raskins in 8 weeks. You need to start setting examples and having the personality and someone standing behind you, i.e. the board, going, yep, do what you need to do at Rangers for the next year. We'll back you no matter what happens. And he's obviously seen something. All you have to do, right? I know it doesn't work like that at Rangers and Celtic, and I understand that, and that's what makes them great clubs. So I don't want to feel like I'm stripping away from that, right? But I've now watched interviews, and again, it might be slightly easier for me from a neutral. I feel like I was defending Celtic to an extent yesterday, in terms of where all the blame's been shifted. I feel like I'm doing the same for Rangers, and honestly, boys, I really do get where you're coming from, and as fan of a football club, I get it, right? I honestly do get it. But I've now watched interviews with Michael Beale, Billy Dodds, Barry Ferguson, Chris Boyd talking about it. People who've been in that dressing room, either as a player or managed this group of players, who have clearly said that they're not up to it. They're not up to it. And you can't keep bringing in managers. The fans can't keep saying this and that. And I know what you're saying tonight, Scott, because I text saying this in the chat and you went, how many new players was there playing tonight? 8?
8.
But it's still culture in the club.
Or 7 new players or
like
something.
Like players are still kicking about. You still got
it's
talent.
It's your job to bring in players that are going to change the culture.
I get that.
Yeah, but that's why he's brought his mates.
Listen, can I just jump in though, right? I totally get what you're saying, right? There's obviously some sort of underlying issue with players like Tav, Nico Raskin, Diomande. But they've been bombed out. They have been kind of moved out of the sides, right, to allow for Martin's new players to come in.
And it's
And
worse.
now, and it's worse. And we were told that Joe Rothwell, this
Yeah.
great championship player that was marauding
You
left
said he
and
was
right.
like Pirlo on the first day of the season, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I said that. So people were saying he was a Stephen Davis, and I said that's not the case. But my point, sorry. My point is, I'm honestly all over the bit tonight. My point about, you look at Aarons, right? We've heard from Russell Martin from day dot that Aarons was the one player he wanted to sign. He was this guy that's going to transform in a full back position, right? And he's been awful.
Yeah.
He's been terrible. And okay, I understand to an extent he was playing out of position for the first couple of games, right?
Even Chris Sutton was defending him at the weekend, saying he was a good player and he doesn't understand what's happened.
Yeah, right. So
Management.
you look at him tonight though. You're
Culture.
saying, but you're saying tonight. You're saying to me right now that you look at Nico laughing and joking with Belgian players at the end,
Hate
right?
it.
Hate it. I get it, and it annoys the absolute life at me, right? It's the same with the whole Iggy situation. I don't care if you don't have any respect for the manager. Have respect for the club that you play
Yeah,
for.
the badge,
have
yeah.
have respect for the fans, right? That's what it means, right? The manager, they come and go, players come and go, but the badge, the fans, they'll be there for
Clubs
the whole
come and
thing.
go, but yeah.
Shut up, right? Anyway,
That's my job.
I know. Look, right, but my point is, Aaron's chucked it tonight. Aaron's chucked it. This new player that's not been in the club long at all has chucked it. He didn't have to take that boy down. He could have
No.
jockeyed, he could have wrestled, he could have done anything.
Nervous, eh?
to-
Just nervous.
But he just chucked it. He chucked it. So he threw the manager under the bus. Now, how are you telling me that is a new player that's never been in this environment before and already has chucked a guy that he knows from his entire career? He's already chucked him. Joe Rothwell looks like he can't be bothered. And this is a guy that's worked under Martin twice.
Scott,
So there's something
credit where-
fundamentally, sorry Pat, something fundamentally wrong. And whether that's on the manager, whether it's the players just going, what the hell are you actually asking us to do? Because we're not getting it, we're not understanding it. And his absolute arrogance to change. And I get it, he's got a philosophy, he's got a way of playing, but there
Does he?
doesn't seem to be any. Well,
Well-
according to the PowerPoint presentation he presented, it does, right? But where is it? Why are you not adapting to your players? Why are you not slightly changing your formation, your tactics, just to get that little bit extra at your players? If your players are struggling after 9 weeks on the training pitch,
Scott,
help me to understand.
I wanted to just quickly give you credit where credit's due, because you said this in the summer. What I don't want to see happening is an influx of championship players to Rangers again, because we've tried that and it hasn't worked. And I think you can feel very vindicated, because barring a major turnaround, it's recruitment. Celtic's lack of recruitment is our biggest issue. Your recruitment itself seems to be your biggest issue.
They got to 20 million.
This derby at the weekend is it's whoever wins, it's going to paper over the biggest cracks I think there's ever been at both clubs.
Yeah, Rangers
Yeah.
are signing me off skate today, and some good news for you, Scotty boy.
Well, that's good.
But,
And I
yeah,
feel sorry, mate. Just before you,
No,
thanks.
crack on, mate. It's your episode.
I feel, yeah, I would like to be like, oh, brilliant. I'm really happy I was right. I don't want to be that. I didn't want to. I would have quite happily eaten humble pie and been wrong about this whole appointment.
Yeah, well, my
It's
final
garbage.
question for you, Scotty, and then Pat. I know I do want to just cover a wider Scottish context quickly while we wrap this up. But
Yep.
where do Rangers go from here, Scotty? And does an old firm victory more than paper up the cracks, like Pat's just said? Where do Rangers go? Where should they sack him? Should they keep him? Should you roll it out till Christmas?
I think for me personally, I know I'm feeling very emotional. This is the angriest I've been in a long time. I usually try to be quite level-headed most of the time.
No, we don't notice.
No, you don't know, it's not. But for me, I'm at the point now. I want him gone. He already infuriates me with every thing that comes out of his mouth. Oh, we're going to go for attacking team. Or we're never going to concede goals like that again. And it's the same goal we concede, the same type of goal we concede. You can't just keep throwing players under the bus. And I do believe this is why there's such issues in the squad right now. He's throwing a lot of people under the bus early on. It's backfired on him. They're not playing for him. That's not tenable. And I just think that result tonight, that's not sustainable for a Rangers manager. time to go, and it's been coming. That's the thing; it has been coming. I've said this to you boys for a number of weeks that we're going to be on hiding to nothing. We're going to be on getting an absolute scudding.
I thought you'd lose that time. I didn't think you'd lose it
Yeah.
9-1 on
Nah,
9
there's
and 1 on
losing
aggregate.
games and then there's losing
Exactly.
9-1.
Exactly. Like
more
there's a
than a
way to
game.
lose game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy to lose games because I
You've
know
lost
that.
dignity there.
Yeah, I understand Rangers in the grand scheme of the pecking order of football. Rangers are still at a big club, but in Europe, the money, etc. But there's a way to lose. There's a way to go out, being hard to play against, being physical, being aggressive, and you still lose. Fine, but that was just I hold my hands up. I can't be bothered. Here's the goal, pal. Have a shot. Do you mean
Celtic
that's
Rangers Europa League final this year.
imagine? Oh God!
Oh.
Right, but yeah. So I think he needs to go. I think that's where my
Wow.
head's at. I think he needs to go, mate. I just don't
I
see it
didn't-
come
I-
back.
Didn't expect you to say that before the Old Firm game, or at least give him that.
I think he'll get the Old Firm game. I really do. I think the
Barry
board
and the
will
boys
give him.
coming back in.
I mean, people are saying that get Barry in for the weekend and then give Steven Gerrard the job after the international. But I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. Okay, it's like I'm like, on one hand, I really want Steven Gerrard to come back. I just want a bag of cans and Gerrard to come back, right? But on the other hand,
Back of cans and Gerrard to come back.
But
That's
on
the
the
name
other
of the podcast right there.
yeah. But on the other hand, he left for a reason, right? And it's like I don't know where to go, mate. If I'm being really, really honest, I have no idea where to go. I thought this new wave of investment, the new owners, was going to bring in a much more stable Rangers than we've ever seen.
That's a good start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we look worse now. So, don't know, mate. If I'm being truthful, I don't know where to go from here. But I think he needs to go. I think you cannot come back from that level of performance and expect to turn it around. You don't get time in Glasgow. You don't get time, and you need to accept that the minute you walk through the door, you have to start winning. The performances can come, but results need to be the bread and butter, and then you can start to implement your style. And he's not done that. He's come in with an arrogance of I'm a championship manager. I've been here. I know what it's like. No, you don't. You don't get it, and you'll never get it because he walks about doesn't understand. He's but players that don't understand, and that's why we're in this mess. So, but
Very well said, Scotty, to be fair to you.
Okay.
Very well said. Pat, just to kind of round off, and then I want to come back to Scotty on it. Surely this is also a wider problem in Scottish football. We talked about it on last night's seemingly emergency pod.
Well, yeah,
Just
you could
about where we are.
You could have taken my rant from last night and applied it to
Yeah.
Rangers tonight, and vice versa. Yeah, this is the one. Usually, Rangers getting beaten 6-0 in Europe would cheer me up. I just felt flat the whole time, to be honest, because people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, and that's exactly how I felt. I've got I can't laugh at Rangers. Like Celtic were just as embarrassing, just in a different way. I'll be cheering on Hibs and Aberdeen tomorrow. Aberdeen look the more likely of the two to try and get something happening. It's bleak. It looks really bleak for the coefficient. It's a really weird week because it felt, it was just 6 months ago that I was watching Celtic almost take Bayern Munich to extra time in the Champions League in the knockout stages, and self-sabotage. Look where we are now, and you could say the same about Rangers new owners. Look at all the hope and optimism there was at the end of the season, gone. So it's going to be the weirdest derby, I think, in recent times. There's not a form team.
it should be a more somber derby.
So let's see how it goes. I can't even get excited for it. Like it's
I'm
flat.
sure you will be with Sunday. Scotty, is your opinion of a 1-1 changed on what you've just seen?
Yes,
Actually, I've changed my mind. I think it'll be 0-0.
We
We've
might
got
be
a
right
team
this
that can't score against a team that can't defend.
Thanks for bringing more hope to the podcast. That's what we needed.
I mean, I'm generally terrified Maeda's just going to run through that defence.
Maeda couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo at the minute.
True,
I think your best strategy is to let Maeda run through your defence and not pull him
true,
down.
yeah, that's probably a better strategy. But to answer your point about the wider Scottish issue before we go, I think it's very concerning. Very, very concerning that Celtic, for the last 21 years, have failed to qualify in a knockout stage. They get in the back door, they don't really get progressive. Rangers have now turned all this goodness that we've done in Europe over the last 5-6 years into nothing in the space of a week. and I have no hope for the Europa League. We're usually very good in that Europe. We got to the quarter final last year with an absolute bang average team, probably one of the worst Rangers team until this season. And do you know what I mean? I'm generally concerned that it's going to get worse. And obviously, the coefficient's taking another hit tonight. We're already on the cusp of losing automatic qualification.
That's gone. That's already gone.
No, we're not losing onto like Europa League. Is it now Conference League or something?
We would now need the winners would have 3 Champions League qualifying rounds, and second place I think would go straight to Conference rather than Europa, and we lose a European spot, so the Scottish Cup winners wouldn't get Europe. On that cheery note, it's probably time to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we'll be back on Sunday with what I'm sure is an emergency podcast for one of these boys. So
Volume 3.
And until then, lads, I hope you have a good week.
Hail, hail, love football.
I'll be seeing little Martin at the airport with a taxi down the road. So follow.
You'll be driving the plane.
Absolutely.
Right, catch you on Sunday, boys.
Bye.
Right.